Hi there, everybody. Welcome to Orkney. I'm Rosslyn. Today I am going to be doing part 2 of my first full playthrough of this Transformers gamebook by Dave Morris. Desert of Danger, written in 1987 and illustrated by Bob Harvey. Now, in part 1 of this playthrough, we stumbled upon the evil Monzo, who ran a nightclub. He seems to be a Decepticon, or at least he's riding a weird wolf thing that's definitely a nasty one. And, yeah, they've got these weird cylinders that have like robots in suspended animation, and weird gnawed bones in the basement of the nightclub. And I am knocking about with two cool robots. Hot Rod, the snazzy sports car, and I'm actually not sure what the other one is. Some kind of fancy futuristic weapon, I gather, a laser or something. I think he's some type of weapon. Professor Sparks. Anyway, we're keeping on the down low at the moment. We have stumbled upon an evil plan, but we're sneaking off so that the Decepticons don't even know that we're around, don't even know that we're onto them. So, I think I floated the plan, is where we're up to, and that's where we're launching in now. Right. So Hot Rod has said, oh, we could take Monzo, and I've said, oh, I don't know, we're kind of on the down low here, maybe we should just sneak off. Sparks agrees, and Hot Rod reluctantly goes along with the two of you. On the way back to the spaceport, Sparks outlines their plans for the next day. We'll run the facts through my computers and see what they come up with. In the afternoon we can come round to your ship to fill you in on the latest developments. They drop you off at the ship, and you watch Hot Rod's shiny red and gold paintwork glint in the moonlight as they speed off across the tarmac. Entering the ship, you discover that Harry is not back yet. Odd, but perhaps he got involved in an all-night card game or something. You are so exhausted that you give no more thought to it. You are asleep the moment you lie down on your bunk. The next morning you are woken by 3 black armour Nebulans. The triangular symbol painted on their chests tells you that they are police. One of them opens a wallet and shows you Harry's ID card. Is this the pilot of this ship? He wants to know. Yes. You have a feeling of dread in the pit of your stomach. Has something happened to Harry? The Nebulan hands you Harry's jacket and wallet. These were found in the desert this morning, close to where a meteor fell. He says, someone was murdered in pretty much the same area last week. We're afraid that's probably what happened to your friend, but until we find the body, we can't be certain. You slump into the co-pilot's seat, stunned with shock. Surely it cannot be true. Harry cannot be dead. After the police have left, you gather a few belongings and hitch a ride to Sparks' laboratory, just outside town. Hot Rod and Sparks listen sadly as you tell them what has happened. If any harm has really come to your friend, says Sparks, then we can be sure it's the Decepticons who are to blame. Let me tell you what we've found. Sparks thinks he has figured out what the Decepticons are up to. Here on Nebulos, the Autobots and Decepticons came to an agreement so that the struggle between them wouldn't turn into an all-out war. Neither side wants Nebulos to be devastated the way Cybertron was, The agreement is that no reinforcements are brought onto the planet by either side. The only Transformers on Nebulos are supposed to be the ones teamed with Nebulan companions. Hot Rod sees what he's getting at. Obviously, the Decepts are trying to bring in extra forces without our knowledge, he says. They're reinforcing their strength here, with attack squad robots sent from Cybertron. When the Decepticons were still in charge there, they could build up a whole reserve army by flying them in from deep space in these metal cylinders. And us Autobots wouldn't be any the wiser. Sneaky. That's right, says a chilling electronic voice. The first you'd know of our plans would be the day we wiped you out. You turn. Two sinister robots have crept into Spark's laboratory while you were talking. They are thick-set warriors with polished steel armour and lasers built into their forearms. It's two of the ASRs. Ooh, they've hatched, or whatever you call it. A glance out of the window tells you that the laboratory is surrounded. Skullcruncher, the fierce Decepticon headmaster, is there. A metal monster like a giant alligator. Monzo is guiding Weirdwolf around to the back to prevent you escaping that way. In the sky above, a giant metallic bat flits slowly towards the laboratory. Watching it, you feel a strange dizziness caused by its glowing eyes. That's Mind Wipe, says Sparks, up to his hypnotic tricks as usual. Well, I'll settle his hash with a ground-to-air missile. He flicks a switch, and a missile rises up from a concealed silo by the side of the road. You are impressed to see that his laboratory is protected by a number of hidden weapons. Oh, I'm being asked whether or not Sparks has told me about the parabolic reflector on the top of his laboratory. He hasn't. I think I didn't ask him enough about his science, maybe. Yeah, he hasn't told me about that. Oh, I'm going to 5. I'm going the wrong way. I'm going to 5 because I've not. Sparks touches the fire button. The missile emits a plume of white-hot flame and then roars off its launching base directly at Mindwipe. Mindwipe gives a momentary screech of alarm when he sees he cannot get out of the way in time. Luckily for him, however, Skullcruncher is ready to act. The powerful metal tail of the reptilian Decepticon lashes up to intercept the missile before it strikes the terrified Mindwipe. I was just wondering if that's what this is supposed to be, a crocodile. Is that him, do you think? Can he tell? Not quite sure what animal that's meant to be. Could be a crocodile. Can't tell. Anyway. Let's see. Yes, Skullcruncher's ready to act. And he's whacking the missile out of the way with his tail. Yes. He is careful not to hit the missile's nose cone, which would cause it to detonate. Instead, his blow lands on the tail fins, deflecting the missile in mid-air, so that now it is heading straight at you! You jump back an instant before it hits. The window is smashed, scattering jagged fragments of glass everywhere, but Sparks shields you with his metal body. Then he begins to transform into his rifle mode. We'd better shoot Mindwipe down before we're all hypnotised, he says. Ooh, does Mindwipe work on robots as well? That's not good. I assumed it required a mind for that to work. But yeah, we need to do this then. I was like, oh, if that takes me down, it's not too bad. But yeah, let's shoot this guy if it's that bad. Okay. I do understand his plan. It's telling me that here, but I do. I hear him. As Mindwipe descends to concentrate his hypnotic gaze through the hole in the wall, you try to lift Sparks. Oh, he is very heavy. No trouble for someone with Hot Rod's hydraulic strength, but Hot Rod is busy, stunning the two ASRs with a hail of punches. Oh, you must do the job yourself. With a final heave, you manage to point him at Mindwipe and press the trigger. There is a crack like lightning, and Mindwipe is thrown back by a jolting blast of electricity. From the way he falls, you guess that Spark's power has put him out of the fight. Nice one. After knocking down the two ASRs, Hot Rod forgot all about them as he watched Sparks deal with Mindwipe. But suddenly one of them leaps up from the floor and smashes into his back. Haven't you ever heard of playing possum? He snarls as he tears at Hot Rod's armour. At the same time, the other ASR activates a jetpack on his back and rises into the air. He is trying to get a clear shot at Hot Rod with his ruby lasers. You glance outside. Skullcruncher is stalking closer, occasionally pausing to chew up rocks or pieces of machinery in his maddened battle frenzy. And this must be him, gnashing and chomping. Yeah, I can't tell if it's the guy on the front. This one's got feet. That one looks a lot more like a crocodile, the one we just seen, eh? Oh, I love the illustration for that. Anyway, the question now is, do I help Hot Rod against the ASRs, or run outside to confront Skullcruncher? Both sound bad, but Hot Rod is dealing with the ASRs, and I don't see anyone dealing with this crazy alligator. Or is he a crocodile? It did tell us. Anyway. It's a Skullcruncher anyway. Yes, I'm running outside to confront the Skullcruncher. I have no reason to think that Hot Rod can't cope with the ASRs, and yeah, nobody seems to be doing something about Skullcruncher. You are not sure if there's anything you can do against Skullcruncher, but you try to formulate a plan as you run outside. Meanwhile, Hot Rod lifts Sparks, and the two of them send bolt after bolt of sizzling electrical power into the dazed ASRs. You might as well give up, you shout to Skullcruncher, trying to make your voice sound brave. Mindwipe's down, and your two robot stooges are next. He lumbers closer, jaws wide, as his eye lenses focus on a hover jeep parked nearby. He gives a growl of sinister delight and begins to grind his teeth. He is obviously thinking of crunching it up. Of all the Decepticons, the Skullcruncher takes the most joy in mindless destruction. Right, do I jump into the hover jeep and start it up, or drop something into the jeep? Here he is, giving it a look, and he's quite close. I mean, I'm surprised his jaws aren't open. He looks surprisingly calm in the picture, but he's lumbered the whole way up to the car, looking intrigued. I don't see how it's helpful to just drop something in, and I don't know what I would drop. I don't have a plan for that. I'm going to jump in the hover jeep and start it up. Because I don't know what to do, actually. I don't have a plan. Luckily, the keys are still in the ignition. Sparks must be the trusting sort. You start the jeep, and it rises on a cushion of air. Skullcruncher grunts in derision. Do you expect to escape from me in that? He sneers. In fact, you have just the opposite idea. You twist the steering column until you are heading straight for him, then wedge your foot down on the accelerator. The Jeep gathers speed, but Skullcruncher stands his ground. He may be evil, but no one could accuse him of cowardice. A split second before the impact, you throw the hover drive full on and leap to safety. The sand is soft enough to give you a light fall, and you turn to see what happens. Skullcruncher's mouth is wide open. He snaps up the hover jeep in midair and tries to swallow it whole. But he reckoned without the jeep's momentum. The chunks of scrap metal fly down his throat at more than 100 miles an hour, sending him flying back across the sand as though punched by Ultra Magnus himself. Wow. That was quite a good plan. Okay. Goodness. Well, okay. Let's crack on to page 48 then. Right. There is a heavy tread on the sand nearby. It is Weird Wolf, loping back to the front of the laboratory now that he sees what has become of his comrades. He snarls. How may you stop, little human? Show you tricks I will. Swallow, little human, whole I will. You are in no doubt that he could do it. His grinning jaws slaver with oil as he approaches you. Glancing into the laboratory, you see that Hot Rod and Sparks are on the verge of defeating the two ASR robots. But will they be in time to rescue you from Weird Wolf? Okay, do I turn and run, or, oh man, stand my ground and wait for Hot Rod and Sparks to help? Is that the plan? Just stand here and wait, or run? Oh, I'm gonna get killed, haven't I? I mean, at least I've got to try and run, I think. I don't think I'm gonna be very fast compared to Weird Wolf. Neither of these seem like a good plan, but okay. Oh no! I might have to cheat here actually, so that we see what happens, because yeah, I did wonder here. It says I can outdistance Weird Wolf. Each of his long strides covers 5 of yours. You can feel his hot breath on the back of your neck. It's not really breath, of course, as a robot doesn't need to breathe. You guess that it must be the combusted waste gases given off from his internal engines. A metal flank moves past and blocks your path. Weird Wolf has overtaken his prey. You glance back to see Sparks and Hot Rod emerging from the laboratory. They are too far away to save you now. Oh, am I running away from where they are? Oh, well, Weird Wolf's gaping mouth descends. Now you will never know whether the valiant Autobots can beat him. Weird Wolf's jaws clamp shut. Well, I just thought I was giving more time for them to step in. I wasn't trying to run away from them. Or that's my story anyway. No, it's true. I didn't know what to do. I just thought standing there. I'm going to brazenly cheat because I want to see what happens. I'm not going to turn and run because I want to get the two Autobots involved. I'm trying to get Hot Rod and Sparks involved. I just felt like putting a bit of distance might give me more time for them to help. I was trying to run towards them. Anyway. Standing and waiting, eh? Alright, definitely the right thing to do. Just gonna stand my ground. Maybe I just have to stand my ground, be bold. Hot Rod and Sparks emerge from the laboratory just a split second before Weird Wolf is ready to gulp you up. He immediately forgets all about you as he turns to face his deadly adversaries, the Autobots. You give a sigh of relief and scramble back out of the way of the battle. "Puny Autobots," growls Weird Wolf. "Tear you to scrap metal, I will!" Sparks changes back to rifle mode, and Hot Rod lifts him to point, not at Weird Wolf, but at Monzo, who is sitting in the command module on Weird Wolf's back. Ah, Monzo might be a person then, right enough. No, it said it. He came over before in the nightclub. He's a little robot, isn't he? Anyway. Yeah, he's riding Weird Wolf, isn't he? That's a good plan to try and shoot him down then. Weird Wolf could probably take a direct hit at this range, says Hot Rod coolly. But how about you, Monzo? Feeling lucky? Monzo flinches. He knows that a close-range blast from Sparks could do him serious damage. After a moment, he throws open the module hatch and puts his hands up. He could order Weird Wolf forward even now, but he is not courageous enough to win the battle at the cost of his own metal skin. Weird Wolf emits a piercing howl. He hates the taste of defeat, but he will take no action if Monzo orders him not to. While Hot Rod keeps them covered, you run inside the lab and put out a radio call to Hot Rod's fellow Target Masters. Less than 15 minutes pass before Cup, Blur, and the others are roaring down the road to give you a hand with your Decepticon captives. Oh, marvellous! And here's a pissed-off Weird Wolf, I think, down there. Not looking happy. Rah! Being told to call it off. Not chuffed. What will happen to Skullcruncher and others? You ask Hot Rod when he has taken you back to the spaceport. He shrugs. Oh, we'll have to hand the Decepticons back to their side, he says. They're covered by the terms of the truce, which prevents all-out robot war here. The ASRs, on the other hand, have no right to be here on Nebulos. They'll be melted down to slag. It should be a while before the Decepticons try to pull a trick like that again, you say, as you open the spaceship door. Suddenly you jump bolt upright, as though you've seen a ghost. Maybe you have seen a ghost. Harry is sitting in the pilot's seat. Harry looks very bleary-eyed, and he is nursing an aching head. When you ask him where he's been, he winces. Oh, not so loud, please, mate. Oh, boy. Do I have the granddaddy of all headaches? I spent a couple of days with my old drinking partner, Bob Trevin. He lives in a shack by the hills south of here. But when Bob and I get together with a bottle of that old Beetlejuice whiskey, oh, he groans and slumps back in his chair. Then he spots his jacket. Hey, you've got my jacket back, and my wallet. Oh, they must have dropped off the back of the hover car I took out to Bob's place. Oh, I thought I'd lost them for good. The police brought them back, says Hot Rod. They put 2 and 2 together and came up with 5. I thought you were dead, Harry, you tell him. He moans and searches in his pocket for an aspirin. Oh, after all those glasses of whiskey, I almost wish I was, pal. I almost wish I was. Why don't you sit back while I plot our course home, you say? And on the way back to Earth, I can tell you about all the adventures I've had here, alongside Hot Rod and Sparks. The end! And this concludes my first full playthrough of what beezer it was. My first full playthrough of Desert of Danger, an official Transformers gamebook written in 1987 by Dave Morris and illustrated, I think beautifully, by Bob Harvey. I particularly like this stumpy little illustration of the crocodile guy. Skull Cruncher, isn't it? Yeah. I might have to do some fan art of that. Look at his dumpy little feet. You can just imagine him plopping his way along. Anyway, that was brilliant, wasn't it? How much fun was that? And, for those of you who missed it the first time, I should say, I already have a full playthrough up of this one, Peril from the Stars. And there are another 4 of these that I will be doing full playthroughs of soon. There's this lovely dinosaur-themed one that I'm looking forward to very much. We've got an island of fear there. What's that all about? We've got a clash on the highway. Sounds violent. And this one looks particularly terrific too, with another crocodile alligator type situation there on the front. Absolutely love it. Not the same as Scorpion Swamp the Fighting Fantasy book, of course, which probably came out about the same time. Anyway, yep, that has concluded my playthrough, and that's all I have to say about that. So I'm going to say toodaloo the new to you, and I hope to see you again for another playthrough. Bye-bye.